Hello and welcome to part 2 of our vegetable garden project. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend that you watch that first. It will be linked down below. My name is Emilia and this is my boyfriend Eric, and we are currently creating my dream vegetable garden. It has 8 raised beds that will be full of vegetables and flowers. In this part we'll show you how we fill the beds in a hugelkultur style. In the bottom, we're laying down some old cardboard that we collected over the last year. On top of that, we're stacking this super old firewood we have in our barn. This is from previous owners and the wood is very dry and brittle, perfect for this purpose. We don't have a fireplace, so this was a very good use of it. Hugelkultur is a century-old traditional way of building a garden bed from rotten logs and plant debris. They are originally created like a mound on the ground, but we are using it in raised bed to save on the costs for soil. In the first few years, the heat-producing composting process warms the soil, providing a somewhat longer growing season. The decaying wood matter is a source of long-term and slow-release nutrients. The wood, acting like a sponge, stores water to release during drier times. As the woody material breaks down, tiny air pockets open in the crumbling soil, allowing air to reach plant roots. In time, you will have to fill up with more soil or compost, which becomes rich with beneficial microorganisms. Once we've filled with the cardboard, firewood and some soil, we add grass clippings and brushwood. There's a lot of brushwood here that we are going to cut down anyway. And since this wood is alive and full of moisture, it is going to take longer to break down, but we're mostly using it as a filler. And also to add some green to the, at the moment, brown composting mixture. Something for the worms to munch on. In between layers, I am spraying it down with water. This prevents settling, and we also compacted the bottom layer of soil by walking on it. But I wouldn't do that to the top half of the soil. I want it to be light and fluffy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the soil we're using. I knew that I wanted good quality soil since we'll hopefully be using these beds for many years to come. I did some research on what kind of soil it should be and where I can find good quality. The soil is called open land soil, in Swedish frilandsjord. I don't know if that translation is correct, but basically it is created for long-term usage of nutrients-dense soil. It has about 10% clay that makes it hold moisture, which I have already noticed great results of. It is fertilized with 100% natural fertilizer and has a high humus content and good nutrient availability. You can really see and feel the great quality of this soil, although it's quite heavy, I must say. I picked a brand that I was familiar with and ordered 15 tons of it, because it is not only great for my vegetable garden, but also for perennials and bushes that we'll be planting too. Our neighbors were kind to let us take some of their chicken manure. It's basically their chicken coop bedding that is of course filled with chicken poo, creating a great source of natural fertilizer. It had so many worms that made me so happy to bring life to the soil in a natural way. We added the manure almost at the top, leaving a few centimeters to top with soil. I wanted the manure to be at the root level of the plants I will be planting. Last barrel of soil for this bed, yay! On top, I am sprinkling slow release fertilizer. Yes, I know a lot of different fertilizers in this bed, but that is the key ingredient for a nutrient-dense soil for the plants to thrive the whole season. Next year, I will hopefully top the beds up with homemade compost. Time really went fast this spring, so we didn't have time to create the permanent trellises and arches for this area. So we made up something temporary for the tomatoes using scrap wood we had left with some string, and we made something similar last year for the garden bed by the cottage, and it worked great. That was a bit sturdier than this one, but there is only so much you have time for. Next year we'll do better. And I am going to leave it here. Next part we'll be planting in these 4 bigger raised beds, so I can't wait to share that. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.